Good afternoon, everybody. We are going to be making more food today. And what we're going to do today is some honey orange chicken, Asian inspired, and white rice. And I'm just going to heat up the stir fry vegetables I did from yesterday because I still have lots of them left. So for the orange honey sauce, this has some brown sugar in it, some honey, some orange juice, some sesame oil, a little bit of rice vinegar, some garlic, some cumin, and some ginger in it. And so that's the sauce. And it's so much less expensive to make your own sauces if you're brave enough, and I think you're going to like it. And then at the end I'll add some sweet mandarin oranges into the mix. So that's the sauce. And then I have some chicken breasts that I've just cut up into bite-sized pieces, and I'm gonna turn that on while the skillet's warming up. Let's talk a little bit about what happened on the stock market yesterday with the new Chinese AI and how it just sent everything tumbling and everybody's in a roar because it was, $5 million for the Chinese company and how many billion for us, in the U.S. to make ChatGPT. And this is my advice with AI and all of this. It's not going away. And because it's not going away, what can we do? Do I think it will usher in the mark of the beast and the beast system? Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. For the beast system to work the way that the book of Revelation talks about, it has to be all-knowing, all-seeing. So these drones, AI, they're talking about using drones to manipulate the weather in Saudi Arabia now. We already have known since at least the 50s that weather geoengineering has been happening. You can look up Project Popeye if you have any questions. It was about keeping the monsoon season going longer in Vietnam so that we could win that war. So it's nothing new, okay? You can find speeches of President Johnson saying those that control the weather control the world. If you follow Dane Wigington at geoengineering.com, he's one of the world's foremost leaders in the research on it. He's done tons of testing of rainwater and various things and has found all sorts of horrible chemicals. So it's not new and it's not going away, okay? And not only are we using it in our government, but in private industry and other countries are using it. Same with AI. From what I understand about this new AI is what it did was it just bombarded ChatGPT with questions until it basically absorbed all the information that ChatGPT had. So it's an imposter, okay? It's not a new form of AI. It has basically stolen the information that was programmed into ChatGPT. So it's not growing AI per se, it's just making it more accessible for a lesser price with less energy. And, we've seen that with our own computers, right? If you look back at the original PC and what we have now, they're light years apart. So what can you do to protect yourself against this? And while we're on that, let's talk about the mRNA cancer cure that they're talking about. Do I want that? No, absolutely not. There is absolutely, positively a relationship with mRNA and DNA. No doubt. All you have to do is look up the science of mRNA. What does it do? It's messenger RNA. 2 RNAs make DNA. You cannot tell me that if you're messing with RNA, you're not messing with DNA. They can say they're not all they want, but that's not how the science works out. So, what does that mean? That means don't be afraid of cancer. Take care of your health. That's why I'm doing this channel, is to help you. There's lots of phenomenal doctors out there and nutritionists and exercise gurus that are giving wonderful nutritional information, and they really do lay it out very, very nicely. But what most of them do is say, okay, eat X, Y, Z. But I think lots of us need a little bit more, I don't want to say hand holding, but we want to see it put into action. Okay, well, what does that mean? Well, we're making a lean chicken dinner today, high in protein. We're going to have fresh vegetables, and how you eat is as important as what you eat. So when you make these vegetables, especially since there's a fair amount of sugar in this with brown sugar and the honey, you're going to want to make sure that you definitely pair it with fat, definitely pair it with high fiber. Why? If you eat that high fiber first in particular, so it can be a salad, it can be like I'm doing with the stir fry, I'm going to eat that first. It's going to make a net around my belly, inside my stomach and inside my small intestines. And that is going to slow down the sugar absorption. The protein's going to help my body burn more energy, okay, and be make more ATP. The other thing I'm going to do when I'm done is shortly after I eat, I'm going for a walk, and I'm going to go out and work with my horses, and I'm going to do something physical. Again, to keep my glucose and my insulin from spiking. We don't want, we want nice and level, okay? I'm also using, for the most part, natural sugars, okay? Mostly honey and a little bit of brown sugar. Would it be better without the brown sugar? Yes, but that you just don't get the flavor from it. I don't particularly use a lot of juice. In fact, I don't drink any juice at all. It's liquid sugar, liquid fructose. It's horrible for you. So what I did was I got some V8, their energy, but it's using a little bit of juice and a little bit of vegetable juice. Is it perfect? No, it's got too many ingredients in it. But for the size, I've only used a half of one of these for what I'm making, and so that's kind of my justification for that. So, got the chicken here. The oil's nice and hot. And I'm just gonna I probably got too hot. Cook this up. So, back to the chat GPT. What do I think? I think you need to keep your brain as exercised and as sharp as possible. I think you need to do it through nutrition. Eat foods that support your brain, like blueberries and salmon and omega-3s and 9s and add a fish oil to your system, to your daily routine. Eat things like walnuts and other foods that are good for your brain. So first of all, you're feeding your brain, right? Lots of good, healthy fats, animal fats and avocado oil and olive oil. No seed oils if you can avoid it. And that's tough. They're in everything. They're in chips. They're in even a lot of the nuts that you buy. If you're not eating raw nuts, there's going to most likely be a seed oil in the production of those. They're hard to avoid. All your coffee creamers, any kind of packaged food basically has a seed oil in it. It's terrible. So I would highly encourage you, really clean out your pantry, get rid of anything that comes in a box or and just be very aware that seed oils are there and trying to avoid them. And go towards your healthier fats, because your brain is mostly fat and water, okay? Lots of protein in your diet. That's why, yesterday we had prawns. Today we're doing a lean chicken. You want to eat a lot of protein. And then the other thing you need to do is you need to get lots of sunshine, because that also stimulates the nervous system. You need to exercise, because they've done study after study that shows that good regular exercise stimulates brain health. And you can see it, like I coach collegiate tennis. Tennis players on average have like a 3.5 to 4.0 GPA. Why? Because they're doing a sport that is not just physical but mental, and they're using their body. So I do really think that there is a link between intelligence and being physically active. So I would highly encourage, getting out, walking. In fact, the weather here has been such that I have not been able to exercise like I would like to. So last night I looked up some hiking and walking trails in the vicinity. And what we're going to want to do is kind of like yesterday, we're going to want to cook up this sauce till it thickens. And so I'm going to start doing some walking. And because I don't like these extra rolls that I've put on. They're not attractive to me. And I know they're not healthy. So I'm going to do even more exercise, especially while the weather's cool. Here in Kentucky, it gets so hot and humid in the summer. It's really hard to get out and do that kind of stuff without I sweat easy. I just look, I'm just drenched when I'm done. Make sure you're getting electrolytes. The other thing I would encourage is that, good sleep is really important for mental health as well and for brain health. But to start reading books, okay? You have been equipped with a supercomputer in your brain, and most of us barely tap 5% of our brain. So you're going to want to be doing everything you can to tap the rest of that. You're going to that's fine. You're going to want to make sure that you're stimulating your brain, okay? That you're reading different books. I would set a goal initially, maybe one book a month. And if you're having a hard time keeping up on that, maybe switch between a fiction book and a nonfiction book. Things that really interest you. Like last year I read the whole C.S. Lewis, you could say children's Chronicles of Narnia, right? Going from the Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe all the way through. And C.S. Lewis is such a brilliant writer that his children books really are quite good for adults too. So I'd highly encourage those. He's brilliant, and I don't think you can read books like that too many times. Read 1984, Animal Farm. Again, fiction books, but there's a lot to be said, Fahrenheit 385, is it? 365? Any of those books, the classics, I don't think you can go wrong, but keep your mind stimulated. We talked a little bit in the past about tiny habits that make your life less stressful. And the more you can reduce stress, the less your cortisol is overworking and the more your brain can function at peak capacity. So tiny habits micro habits for maximum results. Do your dishes and have your kitchen clean before you go to bed. Make your bed in the morning. Have your breakfast or coffee or whatever it is that you do in the morning done before you go to bed. So when you get up, it's ready to rock and roll. Maybe have your clothes laid out for what you're going to wear the next day. If you're like me and you're an overthinker, journaling before you go to bed might help because it's going to get all those ideas that are pestering your brain onto paper. I really believe in what I call sleep hygiene, and that's I don't have any electronics in my room at all. I like to keep my bedroom a little cooler. Try to limit blue light in the evening. So, the UV blocking glasses, the orange ones, or even these readers have a UV blocking on them. Put your phone into night mode. It's a little harder to read, but you adapt. Maybe turn the TV off earlier, but if you're going to watch it, definitely use the UV blocking glasses because those will keep you up, okay? When you get up in the morning, spend 5 minutes or so moving. For me, I go out. The very first thing I do in the morning is I put the percolator on the burner, and then I go out and feed the horses. And I walk out to the barn, and I, move bales of hay, and I feed, and I do all of that. So by the time I come in, I've already gotten some sunlight. I've set my circadian rhythm, and I've moved. Often I'll also do all of my stall mucking while I'm out there. So again, a little bit more physical exercise. But that gets your heart beating, that gets your brain functioning. Avoid picking up your phone first thing when you get up. All of these little tiny micro habits, the reason I'm suggesting them is they're easy. Anybody can do them. It's like brushing your teeth. It's easy. It doesn't take much effort. You don't have to think through it, but it will reduce the stress in your life. And I think that's a really, really important thing to do. So I'm still waiting for that to reduce down. So you're going to, for all of you, there might be different things. If you have kids that you have to get off to school, maybe have their lunches ready. Maybe have their clothes laid out or get them into the habit too. Do what you need to get things done as low as stress as possible in the morning. Before you make your first contact, before you even open up your emails, take a few cleansing breaths. Take a moment to praise the Lord. I also do my Bible reading first thing in the morning. Why? Because it makes sure that I keep God first in my life. And learn to turn your problems over to Him. He wants to take them. He says, take my yoke. My burden is easy. I'm low and humble, and I'll take yours. He wants to switch out all of that with you. So let Him take your burdens. And one of the things I find that's hardest is to let Him keep it. So, you'll lay your problem down at His feet, and a half hour later go back and pick it up and try and handle it again. Don't. Trust His timing. Trust what's going on. Like, there's some big things I want financially, and they've been taking a long time. But I'm praying that the reason is because interest rates are going to come down on homes, and other things are going to happen that make it actually a better time for me. I've been waiting for 5 years for a VA claim. It's getting old. I'm not going to lie. But the system is broken, and there's not much I can do about it except wait. I've jumped through all the hoops. I've done everything I'm supposed to. It's on the docket. I just have to wait. In the meantime, what can I do? I can stay as healthy as possible. And that goes back to, what we eat. And it's almost there. Okay, so what we eat, getting plenty of good exercise, and I really think walking is still the best. I mean, if you like to go to the gym, there's lots of things you can do. You can do the weight machines, you can do medicine balls and kettlebells, and I would suggest getting with a trainer and having them help you set up an exercise routine that's good for you. I've done that several times because as you age, your body changes. But really, get a good pair of walking shoes and just start walking. Go explore new places. Go with a friend so that you have fellowship. If you want, put your earbuds on and listen to worship music or the Bible. Do whatever it takes. Okay, so now we're just going to add our chicken back in. To make it enjoyable and something that you can, maybe you have a dog that needs to go on a walk every day. Whatever the case may be, maybe you have horses and take them out trail riding and walk part of it with them. You can never spend too much time doing groundwork with a horse. And getting off their back is not a bad idea. You get better at mounting and unmounting. Maybe, like me, you're short and your horse is tall, so you have to teach him to bump up to something. That's another good skill that your horse should have. Whatever the case may be, find something that you can do every day or at least 3 times a week that's sustainable, but keep stimulating your mind, keep growing your mind. I don't care how old you are. I'm in my 60s, and last year I read 10 books. I didn't quite make one book a month. I slowed down in the summer. The winter I started out strong. I was doing 3 books a month. I was like kicking it, and then there were several months I just kind of fell off. Well, I'm going to start up again. So to this you can add some pineapple chunks. You can add some, I'm going to add some orange slices. In fact, let me do that right now. Let me grab those. So we're just gonna get these peeled up. Now, while I'm thinking about it, I want to say thank you to all of you who have subscribed and who are watching and sharing the video. Please, if you haven't subscribed, do hit that notification bell, hit a thumbs up, leave a comment if there's a recipe, if there's health information you want to share. I have 35 years of practice experience and then 60 some odd years of life experience. I've been homesteading now for well over 15 years, growing most of my own food, and when I retired I really got more into cooking, just because I had the time. And you know, I was under the illusion, like most of you, that it takes a lot of time, and it really doesn't. We'll share, you know, recipes and what they finally look like, and you'll see that it's not really a big deal. Now, if you're composting, I don't put citrus in the compost pile, so that this is going to go into the garbage. You can, if you have a garbage disposal, put these down the garbage disposal and chew them up, and they do kind of get rid of stink in your drain. I don't have a garbage disposal, so they're going to go in the trash. Okay, I'm pretty happy with this. So, there's your honey orange chicken, and I'll add some sesame seeds on top of this. And now what I'm going to do is let's add a little bit more avocado oil. And for the most part, when I'm heating an oil, I use avocado oil. Everything else I use, and I'm just going to give this a quick stir and heat up. And plate. I have some rice over here. And I use a little rice cooker. I love it. I've had this for probably 40 years. Just remember to wash your rice, because you don't know what kind of chemicals have been on them. And so you want to make sure that you're not getting all those chemicals in your system. Okay. Sesame seeds on this. So, that's that. Pretty easy. I think what I'll do is just kind of do that. Again, when you're eating the whole fruit, you're getting lots of fiber and other goodies. There, we're done. Not too hard. You can see, nice colorful plate. Kind of heavy on the orange, but that's okay. And it's going to be nutritious, lots of fiber, lots of protein, and you know, the sugar from the rice and the honey I'm not so worried about because I'm blending it with all these other things. And there's very few artificial ingredients in this. You know, there might be a little bit in here. Let's see, what does it say? It has water, vegetable juice from juices of sweet potato, carrots, fruit juice, apples, oranges, pineapples, natural flavors. I don't know what those are. So citric acid, which is vitamin C. There's some caffeine from black and green tea. I said citric acid is vitamin C. I'm wrong. What's ascorbic acid? Sucralose, which is a type of sugar, but it actually has usually a semi-positive on your glucose, and then we get into vitamin B3, vitamin B6. So really, this is pretty good. It doesn't have some natural flavors, whatever those are, but everything else is relatively healthy. So as far as drinks go, I think it was a good source for the orange flavor in the sauce. So we talked about tiny habits. We're eating good. We're going to get a little bit more exercise, and stay with the Lord. Give your problems to the Lord. De-stress yourself, and don't worry about AI. It's going to stick around. Worrying's not going to take it away. Worrying about the Antichrist coming is not going to make life any better. You're just wasting your joy away. So take this time now to share the word. Stay close to God. Ask Him what your purpose is for Him. Everybody has a little bit different purpose. And do your best to fulfill that. You know, we're on a race, like Paul said, and we are nearing the finish line. It is in view. What does that mean? Could it be tomorrow? Yeah. Could it be a month from now? Yes. Could it be 10 years from now? Yes. I don't know the date or the hour that Jesus is coming back for us. All I know is I want to be ready. And just like a bride getting ready for a wedding, I want to be as healthy and fit and together as I can be so that He can use me in His kingdom. You know, this is basic training. The same thing when I went to basic training in the military. I wanted to finish at the top of my class. I wanted to be the best officer I could be. I wanted to be the best nurse I could be. And I was. I got Nurse of the Quarter a bunch of times. I got Nurse of the Year Air Force wide. I got Officer of the Quarter. Why? Because I really put, every time I put on the uniform, I wanted it to be meticulous. When I went to work, I did my absolute best to be the best I could be. And I think that taking that mindset, I did the same thing when I played tennis. I wanted to play number one singles. I almost always did. And I also wanted to be the captain of the team. But what did that mean? That meant I had to run the lines fastest. That meant I had to do stairs fastest. That meant I had to absolutely be the best that I could be. It didn't mean, well, look at me, I'm all that. No, it meant I had to lead by example. When I rode horse, I'm really competitive. I'm not going to lie about it. I'm really competitive. But I'm mostly competitive against myself, pushing myself to be better than I was before. Have I gotten kind of lazy on that the last few years? Yeah, I went through some depression and a few things, when I retired and kind of a loss of identity. What's my purpose? I'm not a mom. I'm a mom, but my daughter is a grown adult and doing well. I'm no longer a nurse practitioner. I no longer have my practice. I no longer have my patients. Now what? And I had kind of a identity crisis, I guess you could say. And like I said, I was a prodigal. I put God on a back burner. Once I realized that my purpose wasn't any of those hats I'd worn, but my purpose was to please God, and He created me for that purpose, and He created me for a specific purpose. So your purpose is not my purpose. He gives us dreams. I think I said this before, I obviously have a love for horses. My brother is terrified of them. I have 4 dogs. I have a love for animals. I love for gardening. He sees it as all work. He doesn't want anything to do with it. We grew up in the same household. Totally different people on those things. And you know what? That's okay. My sister wants to take in every stray. Well, me not so much. I've been down that road, and yeah, it doesn't work out the way that you think it will. For the person who loves it, go get it. I have learned that I need to say no and that I can't have 500 million animals. Would I like to have a few more horses so I can run a youth program? Absolutely, but right now it's not in the budget. And when you take on an animal, that's a lifetime commitment. Well, for a horse, that's 30, 35 years. That's a pretty long commitment. So I want to make sure that no matter what happens, they are well taken care of. My dogs, that they're well taken care of. That's not only is that a biblical job given to me to be a caretaker of God's creation, but when I take on these animals, I need to make sure that they come first. So, but what I'm saying is my purpose is not going to be yours. I think I have a purpose in helping people learn to be healthy. God gave me an aptitude towards health. He gave me an aptitude towards nutrition. He gave me an aptitude towards understanding science in our bodies. Not everybody has an aptitude for that. Others might be really good car mechanics or really good at computers or really good at developing AI. Crypto. I still don't really understand crypto, I'll be honest. I have no interest in it. There's something about it that just doesn't appeal to me. Does that mean it's wrong or bad? No. But God has given me no love for it, okay? To be honest, I'm not a big money person. Money comes and money goes. Do I like nice things? Absolutely. Do I have expensive taste? Absolutely. I can guarantee you if you take me to a home improvement show and you put 10 marbles in front of me or granites, I will pick the most expensive one every single time. Just have a knack for it, So yes, I like nice things, just like everybody else. But I've learned that, things on this earth, they fall apart, they rust, they break, they get stolen. The devil comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. And I have had more than my share of all of that. But I also trust that if I stay close to God, He will provide for me. I do believe that He will replace whatever the canker worm has destroyed or taken from me. When that will happen, I don't know, but I believe it will happen. So all the stuff that's been lost will come back to me at some point. Maybe in this world, maybe in the next, I don't know. I'm not worried about it. He's taking care of me. So I'm going to eat before this gets cold. I have enjoyed spending time with you. Hit that like button, subscribe, leave a comment if there's, health issues that you would like me to discuss, things going on in the world and how that relates biblically, things on growing gardens. We're getting to that time where it's going to be time to get our seeds going pretty soon. It's been so cold here, I still have snow, that I don't have a heated place to do seed starting, so I got to wait till it's a little bit warmer, and then I'll use heat maps. But they don't really take care of the atmosphere heat around, and so you still need a little bit warmer environment with that. So it might not be till mid-February. I don't know. I'll kind of play it by ear and see when the Lord... But the world is about seed time and harvest, seed time and harvest, seed time and harvest. You must plant your seeds if you're going to have a harvest. And that's both in the garden and that's in life. So plant the gospel with as many people as you can. Don't forget to tithe. Maybe your tithe isn't financial so much, but it's volunteering. Maybe you have a skill that others don't. Like when I did surgery, all of my Medicare surgeries I did for free. They didn't get charged. So that was probably about 30% of my revenue, potentially. But at that particular time, Medicare didn't pay nurse practitioners for doing surgery, so I didn't even bill. I didn't want to tell doctors, well, don't call me on the elderly. That seemed absolutely atrocious and wrong. And so those that were most feeble and most unable to pay got my services for free, and that really made me feel good. So I saw that as a type of tithing that was unique to my skills and my place in life. I do a lot of volunteering with the youth at church because I enjoy it. and I want to give to them, and I get back in their joy for the word and for them wanting to have class with me. And so it's, and I firmly believe in you watch it once, you do it once, you teach it once. So, I watch it when the preacher does his sermons. I, do it by teaching the class, and, and then when they ask me questions, that's a chance for me to review my teaching. And so it's the same thing with the cooking, right? Watch it once, do it once, teach it once. And sometimes like this was my first time making this recipe, so you got to see the doing and teaching all at one time. And that's okay. Because if it's messed up, guess what? You might find it being messed up too, and hopefully I'll provide an answer for you. So anyways, I hope you enjoy this dish. It looks yummy to me, and I wish you all the best. Go out and have just a magnificent, wonderful day. Today is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Give your troubles to Him, and I forgot to turn off the stove. And just enjoy, okay? Love you all. See you here later today if something major comes up. Otherwise, tomorrow, the Lord willing. And have a blessed day.